pretty good view. I'm using the iPhone Pro 12 Max right now. I can move the camera around if anyone wants to see any certain type of view here. What's new? Just the beginning of Monday. It's Monday. That's the main thing. The clouds are moving southwest. The blue skies. I'll get some shots with the other camera after this is all over. Hey Tony. They got a bunch of lifts up in the air. You can see there's 2 blue lifts on the Starship visible right now. And there is a lift up on the tower. Green tungsten. I am not Chinese or Asian descent, so I am not a Chinese spy. But there may be some others over here who are. I will keep my eyes open. Thanks. The tripod is moving difficult today. Maybe I just need to loosen it. That might be it. Oh yeah, the new structure left. I would have to go a little bit further to my left. So I will I'll give that a shot. Crypto. I'll walk another 100 or so feet to the left after this is stream and see if I can get a shot over there. Thank you. Yeah, I try and if I say I'm gonna do something, I try and do it. So even though I was ready to go home, I made my way out here. I got some got refueled with a little liquid water in my truck, and I walked over here. So thanks, Razor. Thanks for the idea, Crypto. My tripod is moving, jerking a little bit there. Yeah, the okra is tasting good too, Tony. Yeah, the okra is really in season right now. Man, I hate how tight this tripod is. All right. Isn't it all? I'm looking for a nagual. Nadal, if you know a nagual, that would be nagual. That would be the ultimate. You could consider me a nagual as well, but I'm always on the lookout for other naguals out there. Okra curry. That's a good idea. I've never done that before. Sounds like it'd be tasty. So I'm not zoomed in at all, but I will zoom in a little bit here. Take advantage of the 2.5 times zoom, which I could get with this iPhone. Normally I would stream with my other camera. I didn't bring the right cord today to stream with it, so I will get some other shots, close-up shots from this angle here with the other camera afterwards. You're Sikh in the UK. Cool. Hey Tony, have you experienced anything like any energetic movements or openings of chakras or anything like that? I know when you're really devotional or you pray for real, then you experience stuff. You know, I've experienced a lot of stuff like that. So they are doing a good amount of work on the launch platform there. Again, from this angle, it doesn't appear that there's any work going on the catch arm. Yeah, I haven't seen them do anything, Alice, raising or lowering of stuff. Stephanie from Australia, good day. Karen. So Australia is awake. The land of Oz is awake. I'm surprised. Let me see what time it is over there. Just a minute. It's almost 3 p.m. here, plus 13 hours. It's 4 in the morning over in Australia, and y'all are watching, huh? That's pretty interesting. Good on you. Depends where you are in Australia. I know there's a couple time zones out there. 7:53 p.m. Zoom out a little bit more. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. That adds a little bit. Okay. Alice, thank you. So I'll do the most zoomed out view. This is that is it. Okay. So on the bottom left is the build site, 2 miles away. Got the Orbital Launch Tower in front of us. Starship 20 in the center there. Booster 4 to the right of it. Booster 3 to the right of that. And the tank farm to the right of all this. Yeah. Tilt up. I can zoom in a little bit on the top of the tower there. From Santa Cruz. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Ron? Not much to see up there. Maybe the clouds you can see moving. Santa Cruz, huh? I'm not sure if I've ever been there. I've been to San Diego. Been to breakdancer. That's cool, Tony. I've been to Santa Monica and those areas. I've been up to San Francisco. I've been to San Anselmo. I've never been to Santa Cruz. I'm not sure if I've ever been to Santa Cruz. Well, there was a guy here in a truck. His name is Lynn, and he has a bucket list. So his bucket list. One of his things on his bucket list is to watch a launch here at SpaceX. So if any of you have a bucket list, you know, I don't know if it's to come here to SpaceX and watch a launch, or it's to do some meditation and then have an out-of-body experience or whatever. That used to be on my bucket list when I was 19 years old. I had a bucket list when I was 19, and that was my besides going to school, that was my main obsession was learning to go out of body. So it's never too late to do some of the things on your bucket list. Yeah. And if you don't have one, maybe it's time to start one. I don't know. Unless you're really happy with everything in your life, and there's no reason to have a bucket list because you're living. I've never been to Machu Picchu or Cusco. I have been to Ecuador, and I have been to Peru, but I've never been up in the mountains. That's I've wanted to do that. Or Chile. I've been to Chile as well. in Argentina, but I've never been up in the mountains like that. Yeah, I'd love to. I'm briefly chatting with a lady who lives in Costa Rica right now from the UK. So I will step in front of the camera. This is a very important message I'm going to deliver. My name is Paul Mamakos, Paul S Mamakos. There are a couple other Pauls out there. But if you're watching this and you're in Costa Rica, hola, hello. I've been to Costa Rica a couple times, and we'll see. That was a very important message. Hopefully I was in the picture correctly. How did that look, everybody? All right, well, that's about as much as I can show from this angle with this camera that I'm using. I will switch to the other camera once the stream is over and do some more video. I'll do some close-ups and upload that later. But what we can see is the catch arm is still leaning toward the road. It's not over the over-launch platform, so the catch arm is still to the left there. It's not our left, but its left. Good, thanks, Ron. And they do have a lift over at the top of the booster 4. They got a lift on the tower there, and a couple lifts on the over-launch platform. Some people up on the over-launch platform as well. But yeah, if any of you have any questions or want to chat about something before while we're still here, then just say some things. I was thinking about checking out the Google Trends before I had some truck issues this morning. I did switch out the fuel filter on my truck, and I know it's a dusty environment here, so if you ever come out here and spend a bit of time here at SpaceX, I don't know if it's the dust in the air or what, but I had changed out my fuel filter and everything in like April or May, and I was getting some issues over the last month, and we did test it out this morning, and it looked like once they took the old fuel filter out, it was and if you blow through the fuel filter, it's supposed to, you feel the air with your hand about a foot away on the other side. If you're blowing through the fuel filter, there was no air coming out the other side. So it was definitely a clogged fuel filter. I don't know if anything else is affected, but the truck is starting up now, so that's good for me. So if you ever come out here and you're having some issues, maybe all the dust in the air, maybe that might clog up your fuel filter, and that'd be an easy fix if you ever having issues with that. So I was thinking about checking out the Google Trends in the morning, and I did check it out briefly, but I was discouraged from my truck not starting. But so I want to maybe start. Yeah, it's not in focus. So it is a sunny day. There's a lot of heat in the air, and there's a lot of moisture as well, so that does make it appear to be out of focus. But this is the best focus. I just put my hand, I'll do it again so you can see. When you put your hand in front of the camera, that automatically focuses. Is it clear now? Check your air filter too. Yeah, I have changed out the air filter recently, but I can do it again. Thanks. Awesome, Bruce. Awesome. Bruce Lee, awesome. Reincarnation of Bruce Lee. Yeah, so I know there's one of them was the De Oro. I don't know anything about that, and the other one's Kim Kardashian is pretty. This is they are pretty popular in the news right now. So I think Kim Kardashian's always popular in the news. So I will brush up on my news, and I will have more commentary, I think, and more informed opinions once I learn about some of these interesting people that people like to hear about. And I will bring a different angle to the channel here that maybe a more informed and insightful, entertaining, and more to chat about when I learned about some of these other interesting things out there. So that is going to be probably on some future streams. I will chat about some other relevant, interesting things. Hey, Martin. Nice. And just as I tear into the out-of-body stuff. I will tear into the other interesting things out there with my unique, informed perspective. All right, I know I do use my other camera quite a bit, the Nikon P1000, and you may be used to the other camera view, and so that view is usually 100 times, it has 125 times zoom, so you might be a little bit spoiled from that view, but just know that I have two cameras, and the camera I'm using right now is this is kind of limited in its zooming quality. And but I will get those other shots, and maybe stick around or check out the channel later tonight or tomorrow morning, and I will have some much better shots, because I've already taken some good shots already with the other camera today. So I'm gonna do some more shots in a moment with the other camera and upload that later today. So all right, see how we're doing here. We're about 17 minutes into the stream. It's 3:04 p.m. right now. Hey Adam, yeah, I am a human, I'm not a robot. And what I will say to Adam is thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the fish, Adam. Ron, that's right, Ron. That's right. If some of you who are going about life and who are in the public view, some of you who are in the public view, I can give you a little bit of knowledge that I've gained. I will step in front of the camera for this one. I believe I will step in front of the camera, because this is unique information that is coming directly from me that I'm going to be sharing with you in the next moment. Let me get a good shot here. Let me do it like this here. I'm going to share some special gems that I've gathered together. Hey, again, my name is Prince Paul Mamakos. Some people refer to me as Paul S Mamakos, and if you're looking for my books, Prince Paul S Mamakos. So if you're in the public view quite a bit, you're going to deal with people of all different opinions. And what I've come to is I've studied a lot of meditation and spirituality, and a lot of people in the tech world are not exposed to the spiritual side of life. So they do not believe in the soul. A lot of people say, well, I'll deal with that when I die, if I'm still around. A lot of people only believe that they'll live and have experience in this lifetime while they're alive, and once they die, that's it. It's a done deal. So they live life to the fullest while they're alive. And the types of living, the way people live their life is there's several different ways they can live their life. I've mentioned this before. They can be about getting all the chips and taking other people's chips. They can be about saying they're not going to take your chips, and then they'll take your chips. And then they could say, I'm never going to take your chips, and then they somehow rationalize that they will take your chips. So those are some of the types of ways people who don't have a soul, people who say, I don't believe in the soul, I don't have a soul, those are some of the ways that they act. So they're the chips, the people who say, I'm going to take your chips. People say, I would never take your chips, who still end up taking your chips. And the people say, I'm your friend, I would never take your chips. And then somehow they rationalize it in their brain, and they end up taking your chips. So the people who are into the space and tech or whatever, who don't believe in the soul, will say, I don't believe in the soul, I don't believe in the spirit. And so just by that statement from these people who say, I don't believe in the afterlife, or I don't believe in other lives, I don't believe in spirits, I don't believe in a higher power, by by them saying that, they're telling you, I don't believe in the soul, and they don't act as if they have a soul. So these people, you could say that person has no soul, because they've already told you they don't believe in the soul. So I'm a meditative type of person. I've had a lot of out-of-body experiences. I've been off the planet. I've met other aliens and other beings and all kind of stuff like that. But for me, they're not alien, because I've transcended the earth. I've expanded out to the universe, and I've become more than you think I am. So what I can tell you is, after having spoken to thousands of people here, over 5 million people have watched this channel, or 5 million views. So what I can tell you is there's certain ways you can respond to people here. And since I have a meditative background, there is something called power versus force. We're here at SpaceX, and we're watching a lot of big rockets. They have a lot of fuel in them, so they have a lot of potential energy. Right? There's kinetic energy and there's potential energy. So this energy is a type of force, right? So that in the power versus force, power is a derivative of soul. And the more soul you embody, the more in alignment with all that is you have, the more power you have. A lot of people think of power as what's coming out of the end of the rocket, and they say, oh, that's a powerful rocket. But for what I'm speaking about, that's a form of force. Kinetic energy, potential energy, it's a force. But in power versus force, we're not saying they're the same thing. They're two different things. Power is different from force. Power, what I'm talking about, is a derivative. It is a certain amount of force. It's a certain amount of soul. So the more soul you have, the more in alignment with all that is the more spiritual you are, then the more powerful you are. So I'm not talking about awareness. I'm not talking about consciousness. I'm talking about power. So the rocket has a lot of force, okay? So on this scale of power, you could say from 0 to 1,000 is a scale of power. And David Hawkins he wrote a couple of books about this, Dr. David Hawkins. And he said from 0 to 200 on the power scale level, you can look it up, there's charts of this, diagrams of this power level. From 0 to 200 is a negative power level. And from 200 to like 500, or it's a more in the love area. So people who have less than 200 power level they have no self-value, and they're very negative. So once you get over 200 on the power level, then you begin to care about other people, and you're a kinder person. Instead of a destructive, less than 200 is destructive. Over 200 power level is a constructive attitude. So and then when you get toward the 700, 800, 900 power levels, then you're more into the cosmic love, unconditional love, God-like way of interacting with people. So sub 200 is negative. So what I've come up with is that there are people who see clearly, like this, when the camera's in focus, it's not blurry, right? So the image is clear, it's in focus. So people who here in the chat talk to me and understand where I'm coming from, and they ask a nice, kind question, I would say they're clear in their answer, in their question. So those people are clear, and I will talk with those people who are clear. There's clear people. There's people who it's a little foggy. People who are less on the power level, they're not really understanding what I'm talking about, but they're still nice people. So they're clear people, they're foggy people, they're blurry people. Blurry people are more toward the 200 power level. They're not up in the 800 levels. They're more closer to 200. They're still on the constructive side. And then there are the blind people. People less than 200. People who don't understand what you're talking about. Even if you try and talk to them, they're going to get it wrong because they're blind. So there's clear people, there's foggy people, blurry people, and blind people. So I've decided, and you can do this too, if you talk to the blind people, they're going to get what you're saying incorrect. They're going to keep twisting it, and they're going to keep misunderstanding what you're saying. And the blurry people, their vision and their comprehension is so messed up, they too will not understand what you're talking about, even if you try and talk to them. So the blind people and the blurry people, don't even talk to them. You just got to ignore them. You got to erase them. You got to not feed them, because you can't help them out. There's the things that you can understand, the understandable. So the things that you understand, the things that you don't understand, and the things that you'll never be able to understand. So the blind and the blurry people, you will never be able to understand them or reach them. So you got to ignore them. You can talk a lot with the people who can see you clearly. Those are the awesome people. I love to talk with the awesome people. And then the people who are still a little bit foggy, I still talk to them. So the 500 power level people, it's still fun to talk to them. They still don't understand exactly what you're talking about, but maybe someday they might. So the people who understand you and the people who don't understand you, you can reach them. But the people you'll never be able to understand what you're talking about, you just got to ignore them. So if you're in the public view, or if you're a writer or whatever, you get a lot of feedback from people. That's the method I've developed, and I've shared it with you here. November 29, 2021, Monday. See you, check out the chat here. Hopefully that was exciting for some of you. Okay, good. I love it when people speak up who are blind and blurry, because then I immediately say goodbye to those people. All right, so that is the view here from the SpaceX launch site, Monday, November 29, 2021. And this is the only view from this close. We're on the eastern side of the launch site, getting an exclusive view. There is another group of people up on the dunes way behind me. They may be with another camera group here, but we're doing pretty good here, getting this close up. All right, everybody, I'm going to switch cameras, and then I think I will walk to the left here another 100, 200 feet and see if I can get a view. I'm still out of the bounds. This is still, I've been told this is a kosher location for me to be standing. So I'm not breaking any rules by being here as well. So I'm staying within the bounds of what is okay for me to do. And that's it. It is, I'll give you the time, 3:16 p.m. Signing for you at some point in your life. All right, signing out, and I will take some other shots in a moment and upload them later, and then I will go live, I think, in about another half hour from here. Adios. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. See you soon.